Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Welcome to you with our last session of this course.
I have a few questions, but I hope I'm not annoying.
You're not annoying. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. First question. I completed all of my homework, everything, single thing you sent,
Yeah. And I'm following
video,
it.
etc.
Yes, I'm following that on the WhatsApp group already. Yes, I know that you have completed all your tasks.
Yeah, even the study plan.
Yes,
What?
I'm
So
following that. Yeah, I noticed
yeah,
that and
yeah.
I'm following it.
Okay. So, is there any other homework, any other test? I completed 2 years, 2026, 2025, and half of 2024.
Mm. Any,
So,
what about this homework?
what homework?
You say that you completed something at last year and the years before. What do you mean by that?
Ielts tests?
Okay, you have as a kind of study plan that you are following. You have done
Yeah,
some tests. Yeah, okay,
every session I complete an Ielts test. I
good job.
usually I usually complete them in one sitting.
Okay, that's a good job. No problem. Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much for your effort and your hard working in this course.
Is
Uh,
there a certificate for this
yes,
course?
yes, there will be an attendance certificate. Will be an attendance certificate.
A attendance certificate, not
Attendance,
certificate of excellence or whatever.
attendance will be just an attendance certificate for those who have completed their assignments.
Oh, so those who did good effort, I got a nine on one of my tests. By the way, I got a nine on one of my tests.
For you, it's fine for you. For you, you are already doing all your tasks, so it's okay for you.
Hmm?
Other guys, what about you? How
I'm
is
hanging this on my wall.
excuse me?
I'm literally smashing the wall in half to hang it.
You have to hang it.
I'm going to.
Yeah, okay.
I'm smashing the wall in half to hang it.
Okay, no problem, Yusuf. Other guys, what about your study plan? How is it going so far? Okay, guys, in order not to waste our time, we have to start our.
We are going to miss you. If you do a course next year, I'll be the first attending.
Thank you very much for this compliment. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's start our session today, guys. As usual, we start with the listening part, and today we are going to do, I think, test 8. We'll do it today. And by the way, I'm going to send you other tests to do as a kind of training or getting or study. You can do that at home. I'm going to send you like 10 other tests. You can do
Is
them
it
as a kind
optional?
of study at home.
Is it optional?
That's optional for you. That's optional for you. If you are going to take the real test, I recommend I recommend you do it. You do it before taking the real test. Before paying money and going to the real test, I recommend you do the other tests as a kind of consolidating and study more.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm going to do them if I have free time. So don't close the group. I
Now the
because
group will be
I'm
okay.
going to study them.
The
I'm
group is
going
there.
to study them. But when I
Okay.
have
We
time.
will keep the group for communicating. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we start with our listening. Guys, please go to page 45. That's the eighth test, 45, section 3. Four questions from 21 to 30. Let's have a look at the question here and let's figure out let's find out or figure out what is this question, what is it about? I mean here, if we looked at this this question, we will find advantages of the course and courses. So here we have courses and advantages of this course. For the advantages of the course, I have like from letters A up to E. First one will be tested in the final exams, and notice that option B or letter B is there. Notice that, please. Will be useful for the job. For letter C, where that will help with research skills. And for letter D is there. Here, that's letter D. Okay, that's letter D. Will improve writing skills. And for letter E, will support material already covered. These are for the options. What about the courses that we have? The first course is called Science and Ethics. The second course is called Pharmacology Prelim. That's the second course. And the third is Reporting Test Results. So here we have like 3 courses and 5 options to choose. We will listen and choose accordingly. Clear?
Sure.
Okay.
You will hear 2 medical students, Caitlin and Hideki, discussing options for courses. You now have 15 seconds to read questions 21 to 23.
I have a question.
No, that's the time of questions, please. Just listen.
Okay.
Hi, Hideki. How are you?
Fine. I'm glad I bumped into you. Have you got 5 minutes to sit down and discuss our extra course options for next term?
Yeah, sure. You mean the support courses for our modules?
Yes. We've got 3 choices, and I'm not sure which would be best for us to do.
Let's have a look. Yeah, we could do Science and Ethics. Sounds quite interesting.
Yes, but I think we should be thinking what we get out of each course. So, Science and Ethics, there's a lot of reading and research to do. And I don't think it comes up in the exams, does it?
I'm not sure. Oh, I see we have to do assignments and we get our score from that. But what it would do is to force us to get better at doing essays and reports, organizing them and using the right kind of language. Might be worthwhile.
Yeah, you're right. An alternative is the Pharmacology Prelim course.
Oh.
I think it's in case we want to go on to transfer to pharmacology at the end of the year, because lots of students do. So it depends what we want to do in the future. But apparently, they send you off to find out about various companies and the differences between their products. It would give you lots of practice in investigative studies and analysis. I think I'd quite enjoy that.
Yes, I see your point. Then the other option is reporting test results. Sounds a bit boring. Not sure why they have a separate course just for that.
Well, I could certainly do with some help in that. Because if you go out in the industry, that's what you'll spend most of your time doing. So it's got a very practical application. I think I'm going to go for pharmacology.
Me too.
You now have 30 seconds to...
Okay, for the Science and Ethics.
Research skills. C.
For Science and Ethics, it will be research skills. Okay, for Pharmacology Prelim.
Will improve writing skills?
Okay, I think you made some kind of confusion between 21 and 22.
No.
I'm going to play it again. Reporting test results.
No, is useful for, will be useful for a future job, because he said the industry and whatever.
Yes, for reporting test results will be useful for future jobs. That's correct. But let's check again. Let's listen again and check 21 and 22.
Will they be played in order in the real Ielts test?
Yes, the questions are in order. They will speak first about Science and Ethics, Then they will speak about pharmacology prelim, and they will end speaking or talking about reporting test results.
Choices, and I'm
Part 3.
You will hear two medical students, Caitlin and Hideki, discussing options for courses. You now have 15 seconds to read questions 21 to 23. Hi, Hideki. How are you?
fine. I'm glad I bumped into you. Have you got 5 minutes to sit down and discuss our extra course options for next term?
Yeah, sure. You mean the support courses for our modules?
Yes, we've got 3 choices, and I'm not sure which would be best for us to do.
Let's have a look. Yeah, we could do science and ethics. Sounds quite interesting.
Yes, but I think we should be thinking what we get out of each course. So, science and ethics, there's a lot of reading and research to do, and I don't think it comes up in the exams, does it?
So she spoke about research to do, reading and research, but she said it will not come up at the end at the test. So let's listen. To go on listening.
I'm not sure. Oh, I see we have to do assignments and we get our score from that. But what it would do is to force us to get better at doing essays and reports. You know,
What's going to make them better when doing essays? Listen.
Organizing them and using the right kind of language might be worthwhile.
Using the right kind of language will be worthwhile. So that means what?
Would be worth a lot, or could
Will improve your writing skills.
yeah.
That will improve your writing skills. So for 21, it will be letter D. Let's go on listening.
Yeah, you're right. An alternative is the pharmacology prelim course.
So that they will talk now about pharmacology prelim course.
Wait, but one question. Well, how you said will help with the research skills is correct.
But they said it will not help them with their course because they will not be tested in it.
Yeah, but it will still help.
Anyway, let's listen to pharmacology prelim again.
Oh, I think it's in case we want to go on to transfer to pharmacology at the end of the year, because lots of students do. So it depends what we want to do in the future. But apparently, they send you off to find out about various companies and the differences between their products. It would give you lots of practice in investigative studies and analysis.
That will give you an investigative study and analysis. What is that when you get information about investigative studies and analysis? That will help you research skills.
Oh, so I switched?
No, that will help you with research skills when you get that investigative study and the analysis. Analysis means research skills.
Oh, so I switched them up.
Enjoy that.
Yes, I see your point. Then the other option is reporting test results.
They now will talk about reporting test results.
Sounds a bit boring. Not sure why they have a separate course just for that.
Well, I could certainly do with some help in that. Because if you go out into industry, that's what you'll spend most of your time doing. So it's got a very practical application. I think I'm going to go for pharmacology.
Me too. You know.
So for the first one, science and ethics, it will help you improve your writing skills. For pharmacology prelim, it will help you with research skills. And for testing results, what was that for the testing results? I couldn't.
investigative studies, and analysis. I think I'd quite enjoy that.
Yes, I see your point. Then the other option is reporting test results. Sounds a bit boring. Not sure why they have a separate course just for that.
Well, I could certainly do with some help in that. Because if you go out in the industry, that's what you'll spend most of your time doing. So it's got a very practical application.
So a practical application will be useful for future job. Practical application and industry that will be useful for your future job.
Yeah, like I said.
I think I'm going to go for pharmacology.
Me too.
So the options was letter D, then C, and B.
Yeah.
Okay, for 24 to 30. Let's make a kind of prediction here before we, let's do a kind of prediction here. I'm sorry. Before we do or listen to this question, let's do the prediction first. Write only one word in each group. The math course will run in the space term. What do you expect to find here in this space? What do you expect to find?
Long term, I think.
Maybe it will be a kind of maybe the last term, the first term, or any ordinal number here, the third, the second, or so on. This is what I expect here. The tutor pharmacology is visiting from. What do you expect?
A country.
A place.
A place, maybe a university, maybe visiting from a certain space. 426. For the project must be submitted by the end of January. What do you think is going to be submitted for a project?
A research.
Maybe a research.
Course,
a
maybe.
Paper, maybe. Research, maybe. Something like that. Resources for experiments are available in the newly built. Resources for the experiments are available in the newly built. Newly built what?
A building.
Building, maybe. Laboratory is another option. You can.
But its test is going to say in the newly built building. This is just a placeholder.
A newly built, and you do not know the missing word, but we are predicting it.
Yeah.
But it will not be a number. For example, here I'm not looking for a number.
These are placeholders. I said these are placeholders.
I'm looking for the kind of the missing word. It's not a number. It's most probably a building for doing experiments.
I understand.
Extra will be held in December. Extra what will be held in December?
Maybe research or experiment.
Experiments, but maybe exams, maybe tests.
Referendums.
Something, lectures will be held in December, maybe. Conference.
Courses.
Okay, students are allowed to do presentation in
a place.
Students
stage.
are allowed to do presentations and places. In a specific place.
Stage, maybe.
Maybe specific language. Maybe. Courses. Course assessment will be based on
a criteria.
That is a criteria. That is a criteria of assessing the course. Anyway, what we have just done is doing prediction to expect the right answer. Doing this kind of prediction helps you find the right answer. So let's listen and try to find the missing words.
You now have 30 seconds to read questions 24 to 30.
So let's have a look at it in more detail. Oh, goodness. If we do pharmacology, then we have to do a supplementary maths course.
Oh no, that's not fair. Mind you, I think I need it. Does that mean we have twice as many lectures?
No, this maths is only a short course. The chemistry department are responsible and they do it in the 3rd term. So we've got all next term to set.
In the
3rd term.
third,
Third.
yes, the third.
What does the 3rd term mean?
Third, first term, second term, third term. How many terms do we have in Egypt here in our schools? We have 2 terms, first term and second term.
Semesters?
No, it differs. Whether you have 2 terms or 3 terms or even 4 terms, that differs according to the educational system, which is followed in a specific country. In America, they have like 3 or 4 terms, or sometimes they call it semesters. It depends. Anyway, to
Hell
answer,
no. I'm barely handling 2 terms to handle 4. Nope, I'm staying away from them.
Yusuf are concentrating on the missing word. The missing word here was third term. So let's be focused and go on to the next one.
Settle into the pharmacology bit.
I find the tutor makes a real difference. Some of them make chemistry so easy, and some of them I can't understand at all. Like that one we had from Oxford University.
Oh,
Mind you, the one on this course should make sense because he's a lecturer who's coming in for a few weeks from industry. So at least it'll be linked to the
Industry.
Yes, he's coming from industry. Further project must be submitted by the end of January. Let's listen.
real world.
yeah. The project we have to do on this pharmacology course is huge, and it doesn't give us much time. We have to make a decision about what we want to do on the project as soon as we start in January, and then hand in our plans before the end of the month.
Doesn't give
Hand in what? Before the end of the month.
Plans.
Plans, yes. Hand in plans.
as much time to sort out what's possible or not. I mean, doesn't the scale of our project depend on what resources we can have? Like what equipment we can use?
I suppose so, though I think there's plenty available. For example, it says that if we need to do any experiments, then we can use all the equipment in the new lab, as long...
The new what?
Lab?
The new lab, the newly built lab.
Wait, you took this test before. That's how you predicted laboratory.
Did we do that test before?
No, I said you took it before.
Yeah, I predicted the word. An experiment is going to be done in a lab. That's logical.
Unless we book it.
Oh, okay. It's slowly beginning to take shape for me. I think it'll be a good course. I'm just worried that I get enough support to do it.
I think you'll be okay. And the tutors are always available if you get stuck.
Actually, it says that if you're not sure, then in December, they'll be running 1 or 2 additional seminars. So I might...
Additional what?
Seminar.
Seminar.
Oh,
Extra means additional. In December, additional seminars.
No.
Seminars.
Okay.
might go to those.
Actually, what's quite interesting is that at the end of the course, when our project is completed, then we have to do a presentation on it.
Oh.
I think that's quite good practice.
A bit scary, though.
Well, it shouldn't be too bad, as they say that we can do it in pairs. Spread the...
Students can do the presentation in?
Pairs.
Pairs. Yes, in pairs.
I thought it was pears like the pear that we eat.
Pairs like 2 people together.
No, as it was.
Not peers. Peers are like friends, but pairs, 2 people together. Okay,
No,
listen to
pears. A pear is a P-E-R.
Good. I have done presentations before, but I'm always very nervous. And is the presentation what we're assessed on then?
Let me look. It says that we have an interview and we get a mark for the whole course depending on how well we do in that.
Oh, right.
They have what? And the mark depends on how well they do in that. They do have what?
Interview.
Yes, interview.
Interviews.
Right, okay. So
That is the end of part 3.
Okay, listen again to part 3.
Though I think there's plenty available. For example, it says that if we need to do any experiments, then so let's have a look at it in more detail. Oh, goodness. If we do pharmacology, then we have to do a supplementary maths course.
Oh no, that's not fair. Mind you, I think I need it. Does that mean we have twice as many lectures?
No, this maths is only a short course. The chemistry department are responsible and they do it in the 3rd term. So we've got all next term to settle into the pharmacology bit.
I find the tutor makes a real difference. Some of them make chemistry so easy, and some of them I can't understand at all. Like that one we had from Oxford University.
Oh.
Mind you, the one on this course should make sense because he's a lecturer who's coming in for a few weeks from industry. So at least it'll be linked to the real world.
Yeah. The project we have to do on this pharmacology course is huge, and it doesn't give us much time. We have to make a decision about what we want to do on the project as soon as we start in January, and then hand in our plans before the end of the month.
Doesn't give us much time to sort out what's possible or not. I mean, doesn't the scale of our project depend on what resources we can have? Like what equipment we can use?
I suppose so, though I think there's plenty available. For example, it says that if we need to do any experiments, then we can use all the equipment in the new lab, as long as we book it.
Oh, okay. It's slowly beginning to take shape for me. I think it'll be a good course. I'm just worried that I get enough support to do it.
I think you'll be okay. And the tutors are always available if you get stuck.
Actually, it says that if you're not sure, then in December, they'll be running 1 or 2 additional seminars. So I might go to those.
Actually, what's quite interesting is that at the end of the course, when our project is completed, then we have to do a presentation on it.
Oh.
I think that's quite good practice.
A bit scary, though.
Well, it shouldn't be too bad, as they say that we can do it in pairs. Spread the load, as it were.
Good. I have done presentations before, but I'm always very nervous. And is the presentation what we're assessed on, then?
Let me look. It says that we have an interview and we get a mark for the whole course depending on how well we do in that.
Oh, right. Okay.
That is the end of part 3.
Okay, now let's move to part 4. And as you know, for part 4, you listen to the whole conversation, the whole part, just one time with no pauses in between like the other sections of the listening test. So let's quickly do that that prediction of the missing word. For the first part here, from questions from 31 up to 37, we have a table. The table is about what? I have here new features of transport, size and problems. New features, transport, commercial areas, residential areas, energy sources, and the new features for each. So for 31, what kind of information I'm looking for in 31? Roads will be the size of roads for transport. What will happen to the size of roads for transport? What do you expect the answer? What do you expect the answer to be? Roads will be what?
A number or
maybe
persons?
maybe wider, maybe bigger, maybe longer, maybe shorter, something like that. Problems is already given here. For commercial areas, we need the new features. What new feature will be there for commercial area? Roofs will have what? roofs of commercial areas will have what? What do you
I don't know.
expect to have on the roofs of commercial areas?
Birds.
Will have maybe solar panel energy, maybe trees, maybe what? Something that we have on roofs for commercial areas, maybe restaurants.
Maybe new designs.
Okay, and we also need to find what problems will be there for commercial areas. Will be limited to outskirts. What will be limited to outskirts? Okay, residential areas, homes made of. Here he's asking about how will homes be made of? Made of what? What do you think?
Wood.
Brick.
Homes will be made of what? Wood, maybe bricks. Anything that we use for making homes.
Concrete.
Okay, and for problems, providing enough housing for space citizens. What do you expect for citizens here?
A person's number.
Number of citizens, like 20 citizens or 200 citizens and so on?
No, like half citizens. Most of them.
Okay.
Or
Providing
for special cases.
Special cases. Okay. Providing enough housing for space citizens. Okay. Let's move on to energy source. We move on to the energy source. The new features will be energy source. What will be a new source or a new energy source? What do you think?
Maybe sun.
Maybe any kind of things that we use to generate energy, like solar panel,
Or footsteps.
like wind farms, like many things, in fact, we use to produce energy. So one of them will be a source of energy. And the problems, there will be problems for that. Noise and congestion caused by what will cause noise and congestion as an energy source?
The pollution.
Pollution, noise and congestion caused by pollution. Okay. And as you know, there will be no pauses between that first part and that second part, although you could notice like a pause for 2 seconds. There will be like a pause for 2 seconds only. You could notice that when you find that 2 seconds pause, you know that he is moving from, or he's moving to the second part, which is 38 to 40. Choose 3 letters, A to F. Which 3 types of accommodation does the speaker say will increase in the city centers? Again, 3 types of accommodation the speaker say will increase in the city centers. What will increase in the city centers? Flats for rent, social housing, homes for retired people, private housing, buildings for a company and residing, or smart apartments. Let's listen.
You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to part 3. Part 4.
You will hear part of a lecture on cities of the future. You now have 30 seconds to read questions 31 to 40.
Okay, we've been looking at how societies will develop in the future and at the increase in the size of cities. So I want to talk to you today about the key considerations in these cities of the future. There are three key elements I want to look at, and these are the new features they will have, issues of size, and the main problems to be considered. First of all, individual transportation will be a big factor in these new megacities as public transport becomes unmanageable. There'll be a huge rise in the use of segways, which are personal transporters like motorized scooters. As a result, and partly also to reduce pollution, roads will be altered so that they are narrower and will take up less of a city's space than they do currently.
Did you get the word?
Ordered or narrower?
Narrower. Roads will be narrower.
Naturally, this is a major change to the infrastructure, and something that may hinder it is the huge amount of investment it will require. The next thing is, what is going to happen to the commercial areas? We do not want these to become even larger concrete jungles than they are at present. So we have to look at design. And current designs for city development include building gardens on the roofs of these buildings to make a more pleasant environment for workers.
Roofs will have gardens.
Gardens.
And you may think that these areas will expand to cope with increased commercial activity. In fact, the prediction is that they will cover 1/5 of the area that they do at present as we build upwards. The exception to this is shopping centres, which we predict will expand with more and more temperature-controlled malls. What may cause difficulties is that the superstores will be confined to the outer edges of the city.
What will be confined to the edges of the city?
The stores.
What's a superstore anyway?
Superstores.
Oh, is
Like
it like
supermarkets?
Supermarkets or hypermarkets or superstores.
Okay.
who the hell made up these names? I just want to talk.
They will be too big to fit into the new malls. Then, of course, there are the residential areas, and these will undergo their own changes. One particular development will be houses which are built from glass, as innovations in this material
Gloss.
Yes, glass.
allow it to provide light without causing problems with temperature inside a building. The residential areas will not be allowed to expand without limit, as happens in some areas at present, and their size will be restricted to a population of 15,000. One issue, which has yet to be resolved, and I'm not sure it ever will be, is how we manage to house older residents. They will be
How to manage
Older.
older.
Yes.
That's the one issue. That's the issue is talking about. Older citizens.
increasing in numbers as time goes on. Finally, how will these cities live? We know we have limited energy sources, so what will we do? Well, something currently in development, which will be a feature, is that waste is going to become an energy source.
What will
The
become?
Waste.
Waste.
Yes.
Waste.
Waste will be an energy source.
How will it be an energy
How
source?
can this
For
happen?
example, to provide gas in homes. Also, as new technology and systems are developed, we will find that energy plants will become smaller. Another energy source we could use, but one which raises issues of having enough space and too much noise, is wind farms. Because of the
What
problem,
will cause wind? What will
Wind
cause
farms.
wind farms? Yes. Wind farms.
problems, I'm not convinced these will be the grand solution to our energy problems that we thought they were going to be. Now,
have you noticed that 2 seconds pause?
Yes.
Because he's moving now to 38 to 40.
Moving on to looking at the social aspect of cities, we need to look at housing and how people will live. Cities currently have flats in the center, populated by single people and wealthier residents, and families tend to move to the outskirts. In the future, the center of cities will see a dramatic change. We will see many more examples of cooperative buildings. This is where people join together to form a company that owns the building they live in. And despite continuing shortages, there will also be a rise in the provision of retirement homes in city centres so that the elderly can have easy access to hospitals and shops. Recently, we have seen a levelling off in the growth of private housing, and I think that will not change. But we are likely to see more social housing, as far fewer people will be able to afford to own their own homes. Okay, now, if anybody has...
Okay.
That is the end of part 4. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part 4.
Okay, I'm going to play part 4 again for you to check. Let's listen again to part 4 while the answers are there on the screen.
To a population of 15,000, like motorized scooters. The future
4.
You will hear part of a lecture on cities of the future. You now have 30 seconds to read questions 31 to 40.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been looking at how societies will develop in the future and at the increase in the size of cities. So I want to talk to you today about the key considerations in these cities of the future. There are 3 key elements I want to look at, and these are the new features they will have, issues of size, and the main problems to be considered. First of all, individual transportation will be a big factor in these new megacities as public transport becomes unmanageable. There'll be a huge rise in the use of segways, which are personal transporters like motorized scooters. As a result, and partly also to reduce pollution, roads will be altered so that they are narrower and will take up less of a city's space than they do currently. Naturally, this is a major change to the infrastructure, and something that may hinder it is the huge amount of investment it will require. The next thing is, what is going to happen to the commercial areas? We do not want these to become even larger concrete jungles than they are at present, so we have to look at design. And current designs for city development include building gardens on the roofs of these buildings to make a more pleasant environment for workers. And you may think that these areas will expand to cope with increased commercial activity. In fact, the prediction is that they will cover 1/5 of the area that they do at present as we build upwards. The exception to this is shopping centres, which we predict will expand with more and more temperature-controlled malls. What may cause difficulties is that the superstores will be confined to the outer edges of the city, as they will be too big to fit into the new malls. Then, of course, there are the residential areas, and these will undergo their own changes. One particular development will be houses which are built from glass, as innovations in this material allow it to provide light without causing problems with temperature inside a building. The residential areas will not be allowed to expand without limit, as happens in some areas at present. and their size will be restricted to a population of 15,000. One issue, which has yet to be resolved, and I'm not sure it ever will be, is how we manage to house older residents. They will be increasing in numbers as time goes on. Finally, how will these cities live? We know we have limited energy sources, so what will we do? Well, something currently in development, which will be a feature, is that waste is going to become an energy source. For example, to provide gas in homes. Also, as new technology and systems are developed, we will find that energy plants will become smaller. Another energy source we could use, but one which raises issues of having enough space and too much noise, is wind farms. Because of the problems, I'm not convinced these will be the grand solution to our energy problems that we thought they were going to be. Now, moving on to looking at the social aspect of cities, we need to look at housing and how people will live. Cities currently have flats in the centre, populated by single people and wealthier residents, and families tend to move to the outskirts. In the future, the centre of cities will see a dramatic change. We will see many more examples of cooperative buildings. This is where people join together to form a company that owns the building they live in. And despite continuing shortages, there will also be a rise in the provision of retirement homes in city centres so that the elderly can have easy access to hospitals and shops. Recently, we have seen a levelling off in the growth of private housing, and I think that will not change. But we are likely to see more social housing, as far fewer people will be able to afford to own their own homes. Okay, now, if anybody has...
Okay, that's the end.
That is the end of part 4. You now have...
That's the end of our listening test for today and maybe for the course. And as I've told you at the start of this session, I'm going to send you other tests to do at home. I'll send you the test, the audio, and the tape script provided with the answers, and you can train yourself at home for listening. Any questions so far when it comes to listening? You have any questions related to listening?
For me, no.
Okay, for listening, it's a kind of practice. You need to practice it, and I'll send you the resources to do that at home. Now we are moving to the speaking section, the second part of our session, which is speaking. Art and science. That's unit 7, I think. Let's have a look at the photo below and answer the questions. Do you think that artists and scientists are born, or are they made? Why or why not? This question will be for Shahd. Shahd, you will answer this question. Do you think that artists and scientists are born, or are they made? Why or why not? That's for Shahd. Second question, do you think it's possible for students to combine both the arts and the science at school or university? Why or why not? We will have the answer from Anisa. Do you think it's possible for students to combine both the arts and sciences at school or university? Why or why not? For literacy, what made you choose the subject you're studying? What made you choose the subject that you are studying, Ala? Ala, what made you choose the subject that you are studying? If you could, would you change your mind? Ala, are you studying at university or school?
School.
School. So, Shahd, I think you are studying at a university, isn't that? At a faculty.
I study, yeah, too, but...
Yeah, you are a university student, Shahd.
What?
You are a university student, isn't that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, for Shahd, okay, Shahd, you will do letter C. Shahd, you will do letter C, and Ala, you can do letter A.
Okay.
Okay, Ala?
Okay.
Okay. Write down notes, guys. Write down notes for you to help you give better speech.
And which question am I?
Notes. Maybe I ask you questions, but when I listen to the others first, your colleagues first. Ala, are you ready?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead. Do you think that artists and scientists are born or are they made?
Artists and scientists are the most people we admire as they are famous and as they show us the art and science and their research experiments and drawings. So we admire them and we are focusing on them. Yes, we can say they are born and they are made. They are born because no one of us was born to be stupid. All of us has this mentality to love science or art or to be anything else. Each one of them of us has a rule to make and has a passion and the things he loves and can do. But sometimes when we don't have the abilities and don't have the surroundings, school and parents who help us and know what the abilities we have, then this part would die if we didn't care for it. We must care. So if we care about artists and scientists when they are child, they will be the artists and the science, and they can be both of them, not one of them only. But if he have the abilities and he have that school system and how to use their abilities.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Good job. I move to Anisa, I think, yes. Do you think it's
Yes.
possible for students to combine both the arts and the sciences? Ala has just said that they can combine both arts and science at school or university. What do you think?
Okay, I will tell you my point of view. Personally, I believe it's technically possible, but practically very challenging due to the heavy academic load. Modern education system tend to force students to choose a path early one, either like what we have in Palestine, scientific or literally. For example, in demanding fields like medicine or engineering, so that finding the time or mental energy to pursue art seriously is extremely difficult. So while it's ideal to merge both worlds, science and art. The rigged structure of most university programs make it more practical to blend them through personal hobbies rather than formal study paths.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thanks. Now I move to Shahd. Shahd, what subject are you studying right now, or what major are you doing right now?
Okay, but I have a point for Anissa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now I do agree with your point, but it's definitely completely a combination of both, because people are naturally talented in art or science, but the talent is not enough. They need to do education, practice, and experience to develop. It's like people thinking that once they finish the university, they are professional, while like technically university is just the first step to move to the other, like to move forward, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, I think this is my view. I don't know.
Okay, and now we move to your topic, which major or subject you are doing.
Okay, so I study English language and literature at university. So I chose it because I've been always interested in something that called English, or anything that it's really related to English, especially speaking and reading. I do really enjoy it. So I enjoy communicating in English and listening to it. So at first, actually, once I enrolled in this major, I thought that studying English would mainly help me improve my English, but I also learned how to understand different ideas, cultures, and perspectives through literature, even though that wasn't easy actually. And to be honest, I don't always enjoy the academic side of literature, because my point of view, okay, I don't see that there is a point from learning and studying a huge books for people they were in the past, and nothing, it was like that, like life is improving and there's a lot of things that it's in you nowadays. So I don't think there is a need, and it's boring, it's so boring. So okay, for the last point, if I could choose again, I probably wouldn't completely change my field. I'd rather just prefer to use English in a more practical and creative way in my future career. That's it.
Great, good job. But I think I told you before, I expected you to share like specific example when you mention when you talk about English literature. I expected that you would tell me you have learned something, or studying a specific novel or story changed the way you look at life.
No,
I expected something like that.
this like this semester, the next semester, I'm gonna study King Lear for Shakespeare. So I haven't started yet.
Okay, but you could say something like through studying English, I used it to listen to like international news, which gave me a clear picture of what's happening around the world right now.
Okay, nowadays I'm interested in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like it's something that it's really interested, and how the waves they just crash into each other and crashed or collapse. What؟
Yeah.
شو يعني
Yes, correct.
تصادم الأمواج؟
colliding of
waves.
waves. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really interested in how the ships
Collide.
or the huge ships. It's like for the one for the army, the military one.
Yes.
Okay, they get into it for a mission, and how it crashed into it, and everything could fall in the ocean or lost, and it's something interesting. I'm trying to search more about it actually.
Good job. Thank you very much. But notice here the highlighted words. Whenever you see or you are asked with that personal pronoun you, whenever the question includes the word personal pronoun like you should provide personal experience in your answer. You should include a personal experience in your answer, as long as the word you is used in the question.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for your efforts. Other guys, would you like to add something for the others who haven't spoken? Would you like to add something or comment on something?
I would like to answer.
Okay, Yusuf, go ahead.
Which question?
Which one would you like to comment on?
I would like to answer from the very beginning.
Okay. Do you think the artists and scientists are born or are they made? You have a minute to make your point.
I'm taking option C. I'm taking C like a hijacker.
C. Okay, go ahead with C.
I think the main reason I'm currently studying chemistry is literally I just like the subject. There's no other reason, but I just like it because of how fascinating it is, of how in general it explains the universe, of how it fits in our daily life, of how it's compatible with other types of science, like of how it shapes up our understanding. I like chemistry in general because you, if you wanted to, for example, make a fission or a new substance, all you have to do is combine two elements. They need electricity, but we can rob electricity from the dryer. So I like chemistry as well because of how it's compatible with other research methods I studied before. I made two researches about biology. The top non-biological thing I spoke about was chemistry, not physics, not animal behavior. Nope, it was chemistry because of animal senses or no, and whatnot. This uh, this fits into more subjects than you can count. Chemistry is truly revolutionary, and one day I'll probably discover my own element. Since I literally
Who is your role model in chemistry?
in chemistry, it's definitely Ahmed Zuhail because of the Nobel Prize. Because I was literally so close to winning one, I literally felt it.
Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully, you will be the next Arab Nobel laureate chemist. Hopefully, you do that in the future. Other guys, would you like? Other
I
guys.
never an equation to
Okay,
calculate
thank you
which
very
is
much for that. I need to listen to the others, please. Other guys, would you like to comment or add something? Okay, so let's move to exercise to decide which adjective the best matches the descriptions from letter A to O. Okay, here we are going to read aloud a sentence and decide which adjective from the table here can express the sentence. Let me do the first one for you as an example. He is very pretentious and likes to show everyone how rich he is. A person who is pretentious and likes to show everyone how rich he is. How do we describe that person? That's an ostentatious behavior. Ostentatious behavior is like a pretentious behavior when you like to show your skills, your abilities to everyone else. That's the meaning of pretentious or ostentatious. The second one, he played the violin so well. Malik, he played the violin so well. How do you describe that?
So he plays the violin so well, probably
Is he
accomplished.
original?
No, accomplished or talented.
Talented, okay, yes, you can describe him as talented or accomplished. As long as he plays so well, we can describe him as accomplished or talented. Okay, thanks. Muhammad Tamer, letter C. Go ahead and read letter C, please. Muhammad Tamer is not following. So let's have Ala, letter C.
His approach to experiments is very precise and
Methodical. Precise and methodical. Is following a precise and methodical approach to doing the experiment. How we describe that?
But creative or accomplished?
Accomplished. We have already chosen accomplished here. That's
Why
accomplished.
didn't you send us attendance? You didn't send us attendance.
If he's following something precisely and methodically, so he is working rigorously. That's rigorous approach. When you are following something precisely with no margin for errors, that's rigorous. Okay, Yusuf, letter D.
I'm going to read it. She has many budding she may be a budding artist, but her work is very avant-garde. What the hell is that word? Has never been seen before.
Before we answer, what's a budding artist? What do you mean? What does the word a budding artist mean?
Creative.
How do you understand? Budding artist? No, budding artist means like a beginner artist. Budding is like still.
They could have said a blooming artist, and it would be better.
Anyway, budding artist, that's like a person who is starting his career, budding. And the opposite of budding artist is avant-garde. What's avant-garde?
Like a professional.
Professional or great. A great or professional. So avant-garde is the opposite of budding.
Yeah.
She may be a budding artist, but her work is great. Is very avant-garde, and has never been seen before. So what's that?
Creative?
No, has never been seen before.
Talented?
Original. It will be original.
But creativity creates originality.
We are choosing a word from the box there. As long as it has never been seen before, that will be original. Okay, Anissa, letter E.
Okay, she has been described as a very gifted and ingenious sculptor. Talented?
Yeah, that's a talented or creative. Gifted, but gifted here is like talented. Yes, gifted will mean like talented.
Okay.
That's for talent. Talented, ingenious sculptor. That's a talented one. Malik, his poems.
So F will be expressive.
His poems are very moving as they show his emotions clearly. Moving and show his emotions clearly, that will be expressive. Okay, Shahd, letter H.
Okay. G.
Sorry, I'm sorry, G.
Yes. Okay. He has to be natural in his work and cannot allow his emotions to take over. Impartial.
Impartial, yes. He will be an impartial person. Yeah. For letter H, Muhammad Tamer, are you there? Not there. Okay. Ala. His books are full of original ideas.
Creative?
That will be creative. Creative person. And Yusuf, letter O.
Even as a young chemist, she had a very inquiring mind and investigated everything thoroughly. And inquiring is basically inquiry is about the same meaning as amazing or bringing to thought. So I think it's curious because inquiry is basically a question.
Yes, inquiring mind and investigating everything, that will be curious.
Yeah. Inquiry is like a question. So questioning everything is either a philosophy.
What does the word thoroughly mean? What does the word thoroughly mean? What's the meaning of thoroughly?
Closely or rigorously?
Completely. Thoroughly is like completely.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have learned some new adjectives from this exercise because it's mainly to teach us or to learn some vocabulary from it. We move to exercise 4. Okay, with a partner, choose 5 nouns or adjectives from exercise 2 and 3 above and explain why the qualities are given. Okay, we skip that, no problem. I'm going to skip this part. And I'm moving to exercise 5 here. Again, we have like vocabulary and expressions in this table, on this box, and we need to choose which expression expresses each sentence from letter A to H. The words that we have in the box are, Malik, can you read aloud the words and expressions in the box here?
Assignment, deadline, application, assignment, guidelines, guidelines, society, club, constitution, hall of residence, regulations, set of instructions, examination, rules and regulations, assessment criteria.
Assessment criteria. Okay. Shahd, if I say you must be in by midnight. You must be in by midnight. As the doors are locked, you must then call the porter. What do you think is that? Is that assignment guidelines? This question is for Shahd. Do you think I'm talking about assignment guidelines when I say you must be in by midnight? As the doors are locked, you must then call the porter.
No.
Oh, so what is that?
Wait. Could it be a hall of residence regulation?
Yes, good job. That will be hall of residence regulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Anisa, letter B. When the final bell rings, you must put your pens down immediately. Anisa, what's that?
Set of instructions.
Set of instructions, but where is the set?
Oh, sorry.
Not a set, just one thing. When the final bell rings, you must put your pens down immediately. What about that?
Oh, examination rules and regulations.
For sure, most probably that these are examination rules. Once the final bell rings, you put down your pen. The essay on fine arts needs to be typed and bound. Alaa, the essay on fine arts needs to be typed and bound. What do you think?
Assessment guidelines?
Yes, that can be assessment guidelines maybe. These are the guidelines for the essay. It needs to be typed and bound. Okay, Yusuf. The use of PowerPoint is a must. Your physics experiment will be marked in your presentation.
It's an application.
Application? Where is the application?
Next to assignment deadline.
The use of PowerPoint is a must. Your physics experiment will be marked on your presentation.
Criteria, assessment criteria.
That will be the assessment criteria, yes. It's essential that members follow the rules at all times, Alaa. It's essential that members follow the rules at all times. Members follow the rules at all times.
Society Club constitution.
Yes, here we are talking about society constitution or club constitution. Constitution is another synonym for the word regulations. It's like the rules of this club or the rules of this society. Malik, all you need to know about how to do this is contained in this booklet.
Set of instructions.
Yes, everything is contained in this booklet. That will be a set of instructions. Here I'm talking about a set of instructions, yes. All history essays must be handed in by noon on Friday. All history essays.
Assignment deadline.
That is the deadline of assignment. Yes, that is the assignment deadline. When you send the form, 2 photographs need to be included.
Application.
Yes, send the form. Send a form and photographs. Here I'm talking about applications. Decide which of the following words mean the same as compulsory. What's the meaning of compulsory? Here I have like 5 words that mean compulsory. What are these 5
Not
words?
optional, right?
Not optional, yes.
Compulsory.
Yeah, not optional. What else? There are other words that means compulsory here, like 5 words. One of them is not optional. What else?
Obligatory.
Yeah, obligatory. Yes. Obligatory is compulsory. What about mandatory?
Crucial.
Mandatory is also compulsory. What about certain? Does the word certain mean compulsory?
No, it's like sure.
Okay. Possible.
Crucial?
No.
Okay, possible also no. Requisite.
What does it mean?
Yes,
What's
maybe.
requisite? Yes, requisite means necessary to do. Necessary to do. Requisite is something, when I say this application or this is requisite, it means you must do it. You are bound to do it.
It is compulsory.
Yeah, it's a compulsory. What about vital?
Vital is important.
Vital is important, but not compulsory.
Yes.
Important, not compulsory. Imperative.
Yes.
Imperative means necessary. Imperative is necessary. It's imperative you do something, means it's a must to do it. So it's obligatory. Crucial.
No.
Crucial is like vital. Crucial means
Yeah.
like vital. Very important, but not up to being compulsory. So again, the 5 words that mean compulsory here are not optional, mandatory, obligatory, requisite, imperative. Okay, for exercise 7 here, we are going to read each question and you will answer the question, but when you answer the question, I need you to use one of these words in order to, or because, for example, like, or if. In your answer, try to include any of these expressions. But before we do exercise 7, we're gonna do exercises 7 and 8 together. 8 is not here. Okay, so no problem. So we come back to exercise 7 again. You will be asked the question, and in your answer, I need you to use any of the expressions in italics there in order to, because, for example, like, or whatever. Shahd, you will do the first question, which is why is it necessary to present assignments well in all disciplines?
Okay.
Think about that, and you will answer using any of the expressions there. That's for Shahd. For Ala, you will do letter B. What's the effect of visuals in a presentation? Do you think they should be compulsory even in essays? That's for Ala. Yusuf, you will do letter D. What's the benefit of bibliography when you produce an essay? That's for Yusuf. Malik, you will do letter E. Why is preparation for any assignment crucial? That's for Malik. Anissa, you're gonna do letter F. Is writing a draft for an essay or report essential? Why or why not? That's for Anissa. I think Muhammad Tamer, are you there or not yet? Muhammad Tamer is not following. So let's do these questions. Once you already put up your hand, okay, Yusuf, go ahead.
The benefit of bibliography when you produce an essay is literally certain, since it guarantees that your presentation stands out more, or your essay stands out more than the rest.
What does the word bibliography mean?
I do not have experience with it, but I think it's a type of writing.
No. Bibliography means when you quote something and you attribute that to its writer or the scientist who first spoke about it. It's like giving credit.
Like a
It's like giving credit
biography, but
for people for their work. Do you think it's important or not to give credit for the others who made or who did something?
Yeah, definitely. It is literally
So what's the
vital,
benefit of having bibliography when you produce an essay?
crucial.
Yeah, that's crucial.
But wait. I personally think it is crucial because all of my projects carry an MIT license, meaning that you have to give me credit when you use them or mention them, so I don't get left behind. That's why no one visits my GitHub, because no one wants to credit me.
Okay. So, and which expression you used here in your answer? I think you used the word because.
Crucial.
You used the crucial from this box, but I'm talking about the linking words here. In order to, because, for example, like or if. I heard you using the word because. You used because in your answer.
Yeah,
So that was the point to use this linking in your answer. Thanks, Yusuf. Let's move to Malik. Malik. Go ahead. Malik is raising. You are raising your hand, but you're not following. Okay.
Oh, sorry. The mic was closed.
Muted.
The
Okay.
mic.
Okay, go ahead.
So, why is preparations for any assignment crucial? Because, like, for example, visuals make presentations more interesting. For example, pictures and graphs can explain ideas clearly. They should be used in essays if they help explain the topic more.
Okay, thanks, Malik. But take care of the pronunciation of the word interesting. Interesting and not interesting. Take care. The stress falls on the first syllable, so we pronounce it interesting and not interesting.
Okay.
Okay, Shah.
Okay, why is it necessary to present assignments well in all disciplines? Well, presenting assignments nicely is super important because when I take the time to format my work clearly, my professor can actually focus on my ideas instead of getting lost in the messy layout that I done. And it's no matter what field I'm studying, I need to present my work well in order to show that I take my studies seriously and produce clean and the professional work, and I'm really curious about the work.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Anisa.
Is writing a draft of an essay or a report essential? Why or why not? Yes, writing a draft is essential because it allows you to test your ideas and thoughts and arguments first. For example, giving you the chance to spot weak points before turning in the final assignment.
Good job. Alaa.
Yes, they are, because they give us like evidence, examples, and make the presentation more professional. For example, a science presentation with visuals is more professional and give us evidence with examples. Using visuals is crucial in order to that it's preferable to use them to give examples, evidence, and show more professional work. Yes, I would. They should be. I say that they should be more compulsory even in essays, but particularly it can be happen because one can some essays can have visuals or to be used to them is easy, and others it cannot be easy. So it's crucial.
Okay. The word essays, take care, essays are not essays. Essays are not essays. Okay. Thank you very much. You have answered the question carefully and well. Thank you very much for that. Now we move to second part. Read the short text below and answer the questions. I'm going to have Anisa reading aloud. Can you read the first box aloud?
Okay. The sculptor made a laughing head. He put it on a stand and entered it for the modern art competition. Competition. The head became spirited from the stand. This left the stand and a little stake of wood on the top. The judges never saw the head, but the stand and stake of wood was presented to them, and they awarded it a prize. The sculptor was surprised but very happy. Surprised but very happy.
Was surprised but very happy. Okay, go ahead with the next box. That's a
He was
different
quickly
story.
okay.
This
He
is
was quickly cleaning. He was quickly cleaning up his laboratory and put an old dish of liquid on a window shelf. He looked up and went home. A few weeks later, he remembered the dish and looked at it. Then he saw something unusual about the liquid, and so penicillin was born.
Penicillin was born. Penicillin was born.
Penicillin was born.
Okay, what was the accident that happened in each case? And what was the result of each accident? Who can answer this question? What was the accident that happened in each case? And what was the result of each accident? I'll have the answer from Yusuf. Yusuf.
The accident that happened
In
in
the
each case.
the first accident, what happened in the first accident?
I don't have the book, so can you scroll up a little?
Excuse me, what happened in the first experiment? What happened in the first box?
I said, can you scroll up a little because I don't have the book. The first one is basically where the head became separated from the stand and left.
The head of the sculptor was separated from the stand of the statue. The sculptor separated the head of the stand of the statue. That's what happened in the first. What happened in the second?
Wait, some penicillin where the accident was literally a scientist left dirty dishes in the sink, came back, found them moldy except one dish, and that's how penicillin was born.
Yes, that's how they discovered the penicillin. Okay, Shahd, which are more important, the accidents of science or the accidents of art? Because we have here two accidents. One led to science and one is in the art, the field of art. In your opinion, which is more important, accidents of science or art?
I think the accident of science, because it's very important. Like it's gonna like this accident is gonna lead to the solution of a problem that we face in that period of time. So I think it's better. Like the arts, not that much. It's not that important.
Okay, so accidents of science here can likely lead to a breakthrough in the discovery of a new medicine that will help a lot of people.
Yes, exactly.
Like what happened with the penicillin case here. Okay. Some of the words in this box relate to arts, others relate to science. We need to separate the words into two lists. Which words relate to arts and which words relate to science? The first word, numeracy. What do you think?
It's for science.
That's for science, okay. Knowledge of humanity.
Science also.
Let's see, what's humanity? What does the word humanity usually mean? In the academic field.
The natural human.
Humanity, it can be the opposite of science when it comes to the academic fields. A student who is studying science, and there is another student who is studying humanity knowledge or humanity fields. Humanity is like the people who study arts, drawings, paintings, music, philosophy, and so on. So knowledge of humanity here relates to art and not science. Sometimes they call it the faculty of arts, other would call it humanity science or humanities. Colleges of humanities or colleges of arts are the same.
But isn't it in somehow could be related to science?
But
can it be?
The person who is studying physics at university, he's studying or doing science. But a person like you who is doing English, that's a humanity.
That's an art, okay. But
that's an art. That's what they call the faculty of art. Faculty of arts or humanity.
Okay.
Performance.
That's an art.
Yes, that's for art. Analytical.
Science.
Science. Creative. Creative. Art. Creative, that's art. Demonstration.
That's science.
Science. Discipline.
Science.
Science. Mysterious.
Can it be both?
Science.
Maybe a mysterious thing, like something that scientists are trying to figure out. That's something mysterious. Knowledge of the universe.
Science.
Knowledge of the universe, that will be science. Experiment.
Science.
Certainty.
Science.
Certainty for science. Literacy.
Art.
Incremental.
Science.
What does the word incremental mean? What's incremental?
It's like moving forward step by step.
Yeah, it's like increasing regularly.
Yes.
Regularly, incremental. So that can be science, work of art.
Art.
Yeah. Imagination.
That's an art also.
Art, original.
Art.
Original painting, original story or something like that. Definite.
Science.
Uncertainty.
Art. Science.
No, it's art will be if you are certain about something Anyway, that's a kind of, you know, learning new vocabulary. So it doesn't make it doesn't make difference whether we categorize it under arts or science. More or less, we are just learning some new vocabulary to use.
The science or
A question here: which words were difficult to categorize? Which words you found them difficult to categorize? You found the word uncertainty difficult to categorize. Why did you find the word uncertainty difficult to categorize?
because I think it's science because it refers to how sure you are in percentage. It could be an art because I used it with the may and may not. How much you're certain about something, like 50%, 100%. Well, it could be 0, will not, and this. So I think it's for both science and art.
Okay. Other opinion, guys?
No. Agree.
For exercise 4.
Not even the scientists are certain of what they know.
No, but there's
we're
like
talking about the word. We're not talking about the word certainty. Okay, we categorize the word certainty under science, but we're talking about the word uncertainty.
Yeah, I mean scientists are not certain, so they are uncertain of what they know about the universe. And let's check. Astronomy is a type of science.
Okay. We accept all opinions. It's okay. Thank you very much for that. We move to here exercise 4. It's like which of these questions require comparison and which of them require evaluation? Which provides the best entertainment, a novel or a film? In order to answer such a question, which provides the best entertainment, a novel or a film? Which of them requires a comparison? Does it require comparison or evaluation? In order to answer this question, or letter A, will you hold a comparison or will you do evaluation?
And it's better to be doing evaluation. So you weigh them by
compare it with letter B. Let's compare it with letter B. To what extent have people's lives been improved by science? Here, to answer this question, do we need to do comparison or evaluation?
Evaluation.
As for this, that's evaluation. But for the first one, it was like you are going to hold a comparison between a novel and a film. The third question: to what degree are our lives improved by arts?
Evaluation.
That's evaluation. Which is more important in modern culture, scientific or artistic ability?
Comparison.
That's a comparison. Yes. You know, in speaking part 3 in the Ielts, usually you have like that theoretical questions or general questions which you need to address. Here we are not talking about your personal experiences. In part 3 and the Ielts speaking test, you do not mention your personal experiences, but you talk in general. You will be asking questions like that. To what extent have people, not you, which provide best entertainment, novel or a film? Here, it's not personal. This is not a personal topic. That's like a general topic.
But if it asks you personally, like, and
do not give personal experience here. Do not share your personal experience here. Here you talk generally. Talk in general.
Question 1 and 2.
All of them need general answer.
But you said 1 and 2 usually ask about your personal experiences because I just opened.
If you were asked a question with the word you will share or you will answer talking about your personal experiences. But what happens in part 3 in Ielts speaking, they do not ask you using a personal pronouns like you. They use general terms like the word people.
I mean, only 1 and 2 you talk about yourself. Number
How,
3.
for one, which provides the best entertainment, a novel or a film? How do you talk about yourself? You are talking about novel or film in general. You don't talk about yourself.
Yeah. When you talk about what you think.
Yes, you talk about when you talk about what people think in general, like a public opinion.
Yeah. This is a part 3 question.
Yeah,
not a
part
part
3 question. Yes, that's a part 3 question. It's like that, and you have to answer it like that. You are talking in general, as if you are writing an academic paper or an academic essay.
An academic essay is the same way.
When you are writing an academic essay, you do not use personal pronouns. You do not say I or he or she or something like that. You are talking just in general. Okay.
That's why.
We are going to answer these questions. That we have 4 questions we have just read. But before we answer these 4 questions, or before you give your answers, I need you to use the expressions in exercise 5 here. We have an exercise here, some expressions to use. I think it's had a huge or minor influence. For example, this depends on whether you prefer to quite a large degree, because in my opinion is the most, I think is more important, because I don't think, or I think it's a crucial factor, because again we will answer questions in 4 using expressions in 5. And I give you 4. Yusuf, you will start with which provides the best entertainment, a novel or a film. Okay?
I don't like.
You don't like this question? Okay. Yusuf, take the last question, which is more important in modern cultures, scientific or artistic ability? That's for you. Can you answer D? Yusuf, is D okay for you?
Yeah, I like it. I like
think
this
about
one.
D. Shahd will do first to letter A. Which provides the best entertainment, a novel or a film? That's for Shahd. Anisa, to what extent have people's lives been improved by science? Anisa, to what extent have people's lives been improved by science? For Ala and Malik, Ala and Malik both, think about letter C. To what degree are our lives improved by the arts? And again, let me remind you, when you give your answers, please use the expressions in exercise 5. Try to include the expressions in exercise 5 in your answers. Once you are ready, put up your hand. Okay, who's ready?
Me.
Okay, go ahead, Yusuf. Which
In
is more
modern-
important in modern culture, the scientific or artistic ability?
Speaking. In modern cultures, some people in general think that artistic ability is better than scientific because they directly relate or correlate science with being boring. But on the other hand, the majority of people think that scientific ability is the best, since science is literally what stopped us from the ages of the of dark or the ages of the middle of the medieval ages where crusades and the plague were killing millions, not thousands. And in general, science is what saved us from the plague and saved us from many catastrophes. And the people who, in general, developed and shipped the science to Europe until the ages of the Renaissance, where Italy and other European countries started to arise as modern countries with updated science. Until then, they were heavily reliant on the Islamic world for what they need, and this period was known as the Islamic Golden Age. So, the majority of people who think the scientific are important are widely spread, and some think more science says are better than others, while the people who think artistic behavior and artistic ability is better, they think about many artists like Leonardo da Vinci or whoever. But personally, I have seen many people who would prefer scientific ability because our art is just, from the science people's preview, boring and not really a skill you would need to master. But from a wide view, I have seen people who think both are important, and truly both and one cannot survive without the other.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Shahd, which provide the best entertainment, a novel or film?
Okay, so this depends on whether you prefer using your imagination or the visual media. In my opinion, as a literature girl and away from my major, personally, I prefer reading novels because it's the most immersive form of entertainment because the author dives into every single nuance and intricate detail and internal conflict of the characters, which allows readers to truly absorb the narrative and experience it all from all possibles. So sorry, uh, while in contrast, can we use while and in contrast after each other?
You can use the word in contrast.
Only, okay. In contrast, the film directors and the producers of the movies are often constrained by screen time, the meaning they frequently fail to capture that exact emotional depth and richness, leaving the movie feeling somewhat superficial by comparison. So I feel that movie it's like exciting. You can see it, but from their point of view, how they imagined the thing. But once you read it, for example, I don't know if you know Colin Hoover. She's a writer from New York. She wrote a book that called It Ends With Us. Lately, they made it a movie, but not all the people liked it because they imagined the book in a way and the movie was from the director view. It was another thing, so no one liked it actually. So here's the difference. So it depends whether you prefer this or you prefer this. But personally, I prefer books because I leave it to my imagination to imagine everything the way that I want it and how I feel that this is gonna be. So yeah.
That's excellent. Thank you very much. Excellent answer. Okay, Anisa.
Okay, I think it's had a huge influence because science has changed almost every part of our daily life. For example, in health, modern medicine helps doctors cure dangerous diseases and save lives. Also, in communication, smartphones and the internet allow us to video call or to video call our families anytime. In addition, science has improved transportation, so we can travel long distance safely using cars and airplanes in just a few hours.
Okay, thanks. But take care when we talk about diseases here, it's better to use the word serious diseases better than using dangerous diseases. Usually the word diseases collocates with the word serious. So say serious or use serious diseases better than using dangerous diseases. Okay?
Okay.
Serious diseases. Okay, excuse me?
Serious diseases?
Yeah, serious, yes, serious disease.
I will write it in my name. Thank you.
Not dangerous. Malik and Ala.
Yes.
Okay. To what degree are our lives improved by the arts?
Art is not less important than science. I think it has a huge influence. For example, it helps us to know ourselves and in a better way and to know other languages and how we think the human thinking. It helps us to know the thinking of people in the past and now and how it would people think in the future in addition to their abilities and expressing new language allow people to see new culture and point of view and definitely complete a totally new experience and knowing other cultures so it's a quite large degree it improved our life.
Okay, thanks, Malik. Malik, you're not ready. Okay, so we move on to exercise 8 here. Listen to 3 speaking answers. Speaking part 3 questions match the speaker with the correct question. Here I have like 3 questions. That's part 3 questions. And if you notice, you will find that all of them are like general questions, theoretical questions, not personal ones. To what extent should the arts be sponsored by the government? To what extent should the arts be sponsored by the government? Which speaker is addressing that question? Is it speaker 1, speaker 2, or speaker 3? We will listen and find out. The second question is, why do you think some people are distrustful of science? Why do you think some people are distrustful of science? Which speaker will answer that? How can new technology help in our domestic lives? How can new technology help our domestic lives? Again, we will listen to the speakers, speaker 1, speaker 2, and speaker 3, and they decide which answers which, or who answers which.
Unit 7, page 59. Speaking skills. Exercise 8. Speaker 1.
Well, some people would say that it's a great help in that lots of tasks are much easier than they were in the past. I'm not sure, because some gadgets create a lot of work in themselves to maintain, and we end up just finding other new chores to take up the time.
Speaker 2.
Which question was this speaker answering?
Can you get
She was talking about gadgets and how they affected our lives. It was, in fact, letter C. How can new technology help in our domestic lives?
2.
Yeah.
It's often said that the arts offer something to society, and therefore it's in everyone's interests if they get funding from the state. That's not my view, because if they were really that important, people would just be happy to pay higher ticket prices. Besides, if there's no funding,
It's A.
it would force them to think more commercially. Speaker
A.
3.
Speaker was answering which one?
It's A.
A. Okay. Speaker 3.
There is an argument that scientists are too isolated, that they work in specialized departments and don't really think about the consequences of their ideas on the world outside. I really don't think that's true. I mean, things have changed, and a lot of scientists are interested in how their work is seen by non-specialists.
B.
B. Yes. Which of these arguments does each speaker agree with? Technology just creates more work. The arts contribute to society. Technology makes tasks easier. Scientists aren't engaged with the world. The arts should be more commercial. Scientists understand the impact of their ideas. Okay, I'll come back. I'll come back to this question after we do 10 first. I'm going to do question 10, then I'll come back to question 9. For question 10, we'll listen to the 3 speakers again, okay? But here we need to write down the expressions the speakers used to express their opinions, to agree with other people's opinions. Again, we need to write down the expressions the speakers used to agree with other people's opinions. Listen and write down.
Unit 7, page 59. Speaking skills. Exercise 8. Speaker 1.
Well, some people would say that it's a great help in that lots of tasks are much easier than they were in the past. I'm not sure, because some gadgets create a lot of work in themselves to maintain, and we end up just finding other new chores to take up the time.
I'm not sure.
No, she used it to agree with the others.
Yep. Until
Some people would say. This explanation, some people would say.
Can you send it to me?
It's like people say, or I think. It's like I think.
Speaker 2. It's often said that the arts offer something to society, and therefore it's a...
Huh? How did he start?
It's often said.
Yes, it's often said. It's often said that.
in everyone's interests if they get funding from the state. That's not my view, because if they were really that important, people would just be happy to pay higher ticket prices. Besides, if there was no funding, it would force them to think more commercially. Speaker 3.
There is an argument that scientists are too isolated, that they work in specialized departments and don't really think about the consequences of their ideas on the world outside. I really don't think that's true. I mean, things have changed, and a lot of scientists are interested in how their work is seen by non-specialists.
How did you start?
There
There is
is
argument that
so
there's an argument that it's often said that some people would say that this is the way they sorted. We'll listen again to the same three speakers, but this time we need to find the expressions they used to disagree, to express their disagreement with the opinion.
Unit 7, page 59. Speaking skills. Exercise 8. Speaker 1.
Well, some people would say that it's a great help in that lots of tasks are much easier than they were in the past. I'm not sure, because some gadgets create a lot of work in themselves to maintain.
What expression she used to disagree?
I'm not
I'm
sure.
not sure.
She said, I'm not
Not
sure.
that.
And we end up just finding other new chores to take up the time.
Speaker 2. It's often said that the arts offer something to society, and therefore it's in everyone's interests if they get funding from the state. That's not my view, because if they were really that important,
That's not my
That's
view.
Not my view.
people would just be happy to pay higher ticket prices. Besides, if there was no funding, it would force them to think more commercially. Speaker 3.
There is an argument that scientists are too isolated, that they work in specialized departments and don't really think about the consequences of their ideas on the world outside. I really don't think that's true. I mean, things have changed.
I really don't think that's true.
I really don't think that's true.
And a lot of scientists are interested in how their work is seen by non-specialists.
Okay, for exercise 12 here, it will be assigned for you as homework to be recorded. Select discussion points. Should the government subsidize scientific research? Why? Which is more important to our society today, science or the arts? What harm can science do to us? How big part do machines play in our lives? What are some of the problems with being so dependent on the machines? To what extent would it be better to lead a simpler life without advanced technology? Please discuss these questions and record your answers for them. This part is homework assignment.
It's the only homework?
Yes, that's the only homework, which is here, exercise 12 here on this page.
I like it. All right.
And this is one of the most repeated questions or repeated topics on Ielts speaking when it comes to talking about science and technology. So I recommend you do it. Okay, for exercise 13, the weak form. Some words are pronounced in weak form, others. Okay, let's listen to this sentence, the arts and the sciences. And notice how that is pronounced differently. Notice how we have here two that. That's the first one here. I have the word there, the different article there here twice, and the sciences. Notice how they are different in pronunciation.
Unit 7, page 60. Speaking skills. Exercise 13. The arts and the sciences.
Which one is stressed and which one is unstressed? Which one you heard like clearly? Which word of them you heard clearly and which one like contracted?
The arts, then the sciences.
What the first one? Could you hear the first one clearly, or was it contracted? Listen again.
Clearly.
Unit 7, page 60. Speaking skills. Exercise 13. The arts and the sciences.
The arts and the sciences. Here it was contracted. Here it was unstressed. In this part, it was unstressed.
The arts.
But this one, it was clearly pronounced, the arts and the sciences.
Yep.
Okay, we will do the similar exercise for these sentences. We have the word that. That you will hear the word that twice. Which one is stressed and which one is unstressed? Listen.
Unit 7, page 60.
For letter A, you have the word that, and for letter B, notice, be mindful for the pronunciation of the word there, and for letter C, take care of the pronunciation of some. In a sentence, it will be stressed. In another sentence, it will be unstressed. You decide which one is stressed and which one is unstressed. The sentence in which you hear the word clearly, that's a stressed word. The sentence in which you hardly or barely hear the word, that's the unstressed one.
Speaking skills. Exercise 14. A.
People say that science will provide the answers to all our problems, but I don't think that outcome is very likely.
B. There are many inventions which came from China in the distant past, and now a lot of brilliant scientists are working there. C.
Some scientific inventions have resulted in great harm. Others have resulted in some useful labor-saving products.
Again, and I'm going to make a pause after each sentence.
Unit 7, page 60. Speaking skills. Exercise 14. A.
People say that science will provide the answers to all our problems, but I don't think that outcome is very likely.
Which one was stressed?
The last one.
The first one was the stressed one. People say that sciences will provide that here. But in the second one, I don't think that outcomes, it was contracted here. It was unstressed here in the second one.
B. There are many inventions which came from China in the distant past, and now a lot of brilliant scientists are working there.
Which one was stressed?
There
are?
I think so.
And the unstressed word was working there.
Scientist.
The second there was unstressed, but the first there was stressed.
Yep, like I said.
Yes, that was the stressed one, and working there that was the unstressed one.
C.
Some scientific inventions have resulted in great harm. Others have resulted in some useful labor-saving products.
Which one was stressed? Which one was unstressed? The first one was stressed. Some scientists revision, but the second some was unstressed. It was like contracted.
Yep. The stress is generally on the first syllable.
Not necessarily. Stressed when the word is here.
Stressed.
There are stresses for words, and there are stresses for syllables inside the word. Here we are talking about the stresses that's we use for words, not inside the word. Sometimes the word is stressed, which means you hear it clearly. Sometimes it's unstressed, which means that it's contracted in speech and you could barely hear it.
For example, hostessship.
Like that, some scientific inventions have resulted in great harm. Others have resulted in some useful labor-saving products. When I say here in some useful, I contracted this word. In some useful labor, I don't say in some useful labor-saving products. Okay, that's the end of our course and our session for today. Let me just remind you of the most important criterion when it comes to judging your speaking. What's that? Can someone remind me of what I have told you at the start? What I told you at the start of this course?
Try to be more in general. Try to elongate your speech without getting sidetracked.
What's the meaning of intelligibility?
Intelligibility, it's basically talking about someone's intellectual ability and how clear your language is.
How clear your language is to the listener, the more comfortable.
It's usually related to intellectual ability, but
the listener is to your language, the better you are.
Okay. By the way,
this is the secret word, intelligibility. So it's not a matter of speaking fast or speaking slow or using a specific accent. It's intelligibility. It's how clear your language is to the listener. If the listener struggles to catch or get your words, here there's like a problem in your language. So maintain that intelligibility when it comes to speaking.
Okay.
And as we have just said before, you need to draw on, give details, justify, and give like prolonged speech, speak in lengths. Try to maintain like 2 minutes speaking in each exchange, or at least a minute and a half, at least like 90 seconds. That's like the average of the exchange in Ielts speaking. And in order to do that, you will need to write down notes. You need to write down notes. That will help you a lot. More or less, practice recording yourself talking about specific topics. Record yourself when you talk about that, like the one we have just taken in this course or this session.
By the way, thanks for your effort with us, and thanks for your constant support. Without you, we wouldn't have known these incredible
You are
facts.
most welcome, Yusuf, and I expect you will score a very good. You will get a very good score in Ielts when it comes to taking the real Ielts. Thank you very much for that. You have been one of the most hardworking students in this course, or maybe the most hardworking one in the course, in fact. So thank you very much for your effort here.
Okay, by the way, I scored 130 and 130 on my IQ test.
Okay, thank you very much. Guys, do you have any questions before we leave, before we end this session?
No, thank you so much for your advice.
Okay. Well, I hope you get the score you need, and the WhatsApp group will be always there for you to support you if you need any help or support. Okay. Bye. See you. Bye. By the way, I'll send you some material to do at home as a kind of extra work for you, like the rest of the listening course. I send you like 10 tests to do at home, accompanied with the tape script and the answers, and you practice more at home. And still, again, if you'd like to practice your speech, you can record the topics we have studied in this course and send that for me, and I'll give you my feedback for that. And do not forget to make 6-minute English a stable part of or like a daily routine of your day, a daily routine of your study. 6-minute English, that application that you have installed or downloaded in your mobile. Do that every day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.